Hi, my name is Pat, and I'm here to speak with you about addiction. And the most important thing I want to tell you about addiction is don't lose hope. As the father of an addict, I know what it's like to go through the turmoil in the family and everything that happens when a loved one is addicted. And I know about the dread of that phone call that you fear will come, that your son or daughter, husband or wife, mother or father have died. And I've been through all that with my son. And throughout it all, there were times when we thought there was no hope. We thought our son was so addicted that there's nothing we could do. He would never recover. In fact, we even bought a gravesite for him when he was just freshly in college because we knew that call would come at any time. Yet, he did recover, and I would like to share with you a bit about how he recovered and why we must never lose hope. Our son, he typically started using marijuana in junior high and then graduated to other things in senior high. And by the time he got to college, he was using heroin, and it seemed like it was all downhill. But throughout it all, we stayed close to him, and we tried to walk that tightrope of helping him but not enabling him. That's a very difficult thing to do, to know what to do, and that's where our prayer, our relationship with God helped us to gain the wisdom to know what is helping and what is enabling. But throughout it all, we prayed for him, we asked other people to pray for our son, and we easily had 100 people praying for our son, and it seemed to be going nowhere. It seemed like he was going downhill every day. And but all those prayers never went to waste because they were all focused on one moment when he actually, praying before the Lord, he had his conversion and he recovered and he never looked back. And it's very important that we let our addicted loved ones know that we love them. You need to stay close to them. They don't have to live with you, you don't have to enable them, but you need to love them no matter what. And we loved our son, and we tried to stay as close as we could. And we just walked this treacherous path with him. And when he converted, it was a tremendous conversion. You know, so often we look at addicts as street people, as people undeserving of our help. But addicts, they're people, just like us. They're people, they're sons, their daughters, their mothers, their fathers, their siblings, and we need to treat them as such. So I encourage you to pray for your addict especially, because all those prayers, we had usually 100 people praying for our son, and all those prayers manifest themselves at this one moment of speaking of when he was in church and he just finally felt the love of God in his heart, and he knew that God wanted him to recover, and he indeed recovered. Especially poignant in this subject of supporting your loved one is my son. After he recovered, he was probably 5-6 years clean, but he wrote me a poem, a very lengthy poem about all that we had done together in our lives and all the interactions we'd had and so forth. But at one point he said in this poem, he said, "Father, in my life I've made many bad decisions, as you can see, but thank you for never giving up on me." So that's what I urge you to do. Don't give up on your loved one, to love them, support them, not necessarily financially, but support them emotionally. And just try to remember, try to have compassion for addicts, because people aren't addicts by choice. Sure, the first decision to use was a choice, but once they're addicted, it becomes a disease. And we should treat it like other diseases and have that love and compassion that is needed. And if you have not yet been affected by addiction, you will be. It's prolific across the country. So many people are addicted, so many lives are destroyed. But there is hope. My son, once he recovered, he actually became a missionary for 3 years. He went down to Mexico and took care of orphan boys in New Mexico City for 3 years and just gave himself to others totally. And he came back home and became a certified recovery specialist. And so many people I know who are addicts have actually entered into the field of recovery homes, recovery houses, and so forth to help those who are addicted, because they know, they've been there, they know what it takes. So keep that hope alive. And just on a personal note, if I hadn't remained close to God, I'd have been destroyed by everything that went on with my son. So I encourage you to just let love reign, and please never give up hope. Thank you.